Hello guys, it's Sean. So today we're doing another weekly blaze. This is my birthday weekly blaze. I always do these every year. Well, the years I've done weekly blazes. But anyway, so yeah, my birthday's not till the end of the week. It's not till the 21st, which is literally the last day of this weekly blaze. So I won't really get into any of that stuff until later. I want to just use this weekly blaze as a time to kind of just talk about other things that I don't normally talk about. I might still talk a little bit about Beyblade or Bottlemen, but mostly talk about video games, mainly Splatoon, and also anime. Of course, the end of the week, yeah, there'll be the birthday stuff, but that's only like 15 minutes at most, so whatever. But today I want to talk about something else, so it's just a random thing, honestly. Like, this is the most random start, but I feel like with these kind of weird weekly blazes where it's not like focused on news, I can just talk about whatever. But, because of my birthday week, I feel like my birthday is always this weird time where I'm like, it's always like the end of summer to me, and well, not end of summer, but I guess it's better to say the start of fall. It's a weird time because I feel like so my birthday's September 21st, and I know fall. I believe it starts anywhere between like the 20th and 23rd. I might be adding a day or two extra onto that. I know it's 21st and 22nd, but 20th and 23rd, possibly. Um, anyway, so obviously, yeah, fall officially starts. But for me, I don't really. I kind of buy into that whole thing because I know there's like the meteorological start of seasons, which is always on like the first of each month. Well, not each month, but um, December, March. Well, December for winter, March for spring, June for summer, September for fall. So the first of those months. But then there's like like the 20th to 23rd range of whatever. Usually, I think it's more so 20th or 22nd, or 20th or 21st. 22nd, I think, is more just for summer and fall. 23rd, I think, just fall, if it even applies. That's where the official season starts, in those 4 months. For me, I always kind of viewed it as like a transitional period. Like, okay, so there's only 2 months that are in each season purely, and then the end of those kind of season changing months are also part of that season. But like that first like the 20 whatever, to me it's like a transitional period. So like September 1st to like the 20 whatever it is, it's like summer and fall like mixed basically. That's just how I always viewed it. Maybe it's like a really stupid way to view it, but I don't know. Anyway, and so yeah, my birthday is like the last day or very very close to the last day, within like a day or two. But once that happens, it's like yeah, summer. Anything related to summer's over. Fall is starting. I don't like this time of the year though because it's like okay, everything's like dying off, which I don't mind in some respects, like bugs for example. I'll just say right now, summer would be my favorite season by far. Summer would easily be my favorite season if bugs didn't exist. Also severe weather because my area gets tornadoes and that's not great either. But that can also happen in like spring or fall. And like they don't happen really in winter, but winter you also just can't go outside because it's just too cold out. So it's like okay, you gotta. I guess I'll take that with summer, but like bugs completely kill summer for me because I don't even like to go outside a lot of the time because of that. But yeah, if it wasn't for bugs, summer would be number one, no question. Because even if it gets hot out, like you could still go outside and like to some extent, right? It's like if it gets like too hot to go outside, it'll pass like pretty quickly. Like winter, you're just stuck inside for months. Um, but yeah, it's interesting. Um, but because bugs exist, yeah, no. But fall, yeah, they die off, which is great. And also the risk of severe weather goes down, which is also nice. It can still happen in the fall, but it's less likely. The problem, first up, okay, the weather actually does kind of get better. I do like fall weather. The problem is we don't really get fall weather anymore. I feel like fall weather to me is like highs are in like like the upper 50s, like up to like maybe in the 60s or something, maybe low 70s even. I feel like nowadays it's like okay, it's going to be mid 70s or 80s, or it's going to be like 40s. there is no, like, the in between is just gone. It's unfortunate, but I feel like it's just too often where I'm like, oh, too cold. Like, it's kind of just colder than I'd like, or it's just, oh, it's summer part two. Like, great. Um, but yeah, it's annoying. So the weather in fall, it's just like same problem as summer, or just like too cold. And also the cold air at this point, like it's like 40 degrees out. In March, that's fine. But like in October or something, it's like, okay, well, I'm used to like warm weather. This is awful. But the thing I actually hate the most, and this is like one of the things that I really hate, is just time, like time change, not time change, but like the day night cycle, sunrise sunset times. I'm nocturnal, so people might think, oh, you probably like when it's dark all the time. I actually don't. I like because in the summer it's like my days and nights are like 50-50. It's great. It's like, okay, you wake up. Like let's just use my like most basic possible like sleep schedule, which I'm sleeping later on this, but let's just say 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right? That's the one I sleep. So that means the first 4 or so hours of my day, it's light out. Great. And the last 4 or so hours of my day are also light. That's nice. And like the middle 8 are dark. Cool. It's 8 and 8. Great. But the problem is in the winter, it's like, okay, I wake up at 5, it's dark out, and then it doesn't get light till like 7. So like I see the sun for 2 hours, but like at that point I'm like already ready to go to bed, like at least closer to it. I'm not really outside by then, for sure. And I don't really care to do a whole lot, and like the last part of the day I'm just in bed, so most of my day is just dark. I think last year my sleep schedule, like pretty consistently, I was waking up like not consistently, but like I feel like I was just in bed not long after the sun rose most of the time. By the time I woke up, like the sun was like close to setting or had just set. Like I feel like there was like a 2 or 3 month period last year where I just like did not see the sun. It was crazy. It wasn't great. Um, but yeah, it wasn't fun. But it happened. And that's like my biggest problem with winter, where it's just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be dark all the time. You could just say like, oh, when like change your sleep schedule, but nah. Anyway, yeah, the day night cycle is very unfortunate, but it kind of just like makes me think like this year went so fast. Like the fact that it's already my birthday again. Like I just remember last year's birthday happening. How has it already been a year? Like okay, around this time, yeah, I was not having a good time. Birthday's coming up. That was a year ago. How? Or like October. I was playing like Minecraft hype for Mario Wonder. That was like 11 months ago. November, I was complaining about spritening. That was fun. That was 10 months ago. Um, I guess my initial complaints of spritening were like 11 months ago, but still. December, like Christmas time. I was excited for that. I remember everything that was going on at that point. I was looking forward to getting all the anime stuff for Christmas, and that was 9 months ago. And you have like January. Okay, I remember this was like the big Bottleman haul of like a lot of these things over here. That was already 8 months ago. And then February. Okay, I was hyped up for side order. I just finished getting the last Bottleman stuff with Welch Crate. Oh yeah, UX just got revealed. That was already 7 months ago. Or like look at March. Like I was hyped up for UX actually coming out and whatnot. That was 6 months ago, half a year. April. Like I was hyped up for summer break. Just got my UX stuff recently. That was 5 months ago. My Monogatari rewatch. I talked about this on Weekly Blaze. That was already 4 months ago. I was in May. Like all the Hasbro Beyblade X hype was 3 months ago. Me playing through Celeste and post like 4th of July stuff was 2 months ago already. And last month was August. I don't know how it's already been a month since like mid-August. Like it was like I got sick almost a month ago at this point. Like I feel like I was just sick, but it was already a month ago. It's crazy. How is it already mid-September? Like once this month ends, which is gonna be like 5 minutes from now, we only have 3 months left. And we're already in the last quarter of 2024. In my brain, I feel like this is just like okay. I don't think 2020 particularly feels like a full year ago. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe closer at this point, but still. Um, But the crazy thing for me is like, okay, I can accept 2020 being over. I can even accept 2021 being over. But like the fact that we're not even in 2022 anymore is crazy to me. I feel like 2023 shouldn't have even happened yet. And like 2024, like what? Like that's not even next year. But you're telling me it's already like about to be over. It's crazy. Like 2025 is like this futuristic sounding thing. It always has been ever since I was a kid. And then like, nope, a couple months it's gonna be here. That's crazy to me. Yeah, this is just like a random rant about time being annoying in seasons because it's about to be fall, like fully in fall, and time is going too fast. It needs to slow down. I swear it was like 2020, like really recently, and it just isn't anymore, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, time has not been fun to deal with. I'm not gonna lie, it's been way too fast. But yeah, I guess my birthday's already almost here again, so that's crazy. Yeah, that was my random rant for the day, I guess. And yeah, I don't know how much I'll actually talk about Beyblade and Battleman in this video now that I think about it. I don't think there's a whole lot to say. But I guess I will talk about, like, birthday stuff later. But yeah, next clip, whenever day I talk next, I'll talk about either Splatoon or anime. Want to do that because I talk about anime every now and again. I haven't talked about it in a few months, I don't think. And then Splatoon. Well, I know Grandfest just happened, and also Side Order. I actually 1000% that finally, so I'll talk about that. Anyway, I think that's all for today, though. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it is Monday at like almost 4 a.m. So yeah. Anyways, I'll be back in a later clip to just talk about some random stuff. So I guess we'll see how that goes. All right, it is now Wednesday. It's just after midnight. I had to check, but yeah. So I was gonna talk about Splatoon today, but before that, I have some really good news. So this is something that I talked about. I talked about this last week actually. I talk about this a lot. Not a lot, but sometimes here and there. I've been talking about this since like April of 2022, like literally a couple months before or after I came back from not doing weekly blazes. Just a couple months in, I brought this up and basically I said I had like this shoulder pain of sorts, and I kind of just had it. It did not go away. It just kept going. I kind of downplayed. I'm like, yeah, my shoulder kind of hurts, but and though my shoulder was really messed up, like I couldn't grab things like use my full grip strength. I could use it for like basic stuff, but nothing like crazy. It was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, and it had been like that since then. And it had some signs every now and again, like not every now and again, but like late last year there were some signs that it was kind of getting better, and it kind of wasn't, and then it kind of did, and it kind of went back and forth. Where it was like anywhere from like the same or like a bit better, but still kind of hurt, and then it got really really bad, like a couple weeks ago, like horrible, and then got slightly better, then got really bad again. And I know the issue. I don't want to talk about the issue. It's just not like a pleasant thing to talk about. But then I'm like, oh, I spotted the problem. And I mean, I can't say for sure that it was the problem this entire time, but it probably was. And with that, that's now dealt with. And my arm's actually fine now, which is great. So my right shoulder, I still have like a slight bit of like aching, like a very, very slight bit if I move it like super awkwardly, but whatever. It's still like my strength in this arm is a little bit lower than it should be just because I just straight up haven't used it much. You might notice in videos, like, I mean, I use my right hand in videos, but like, sometimes I might just like not use it where it's like I'm moving stuff off of the screen or like on the screen or something. Like, I probably should just use both hands, but I just don't sometimes. I don't know if that's noticeable or not, but that's why, because I just didn't want to move my arm. But now, I basically have my arm pain-free again. If I move it like super awkwardly or something, I might feel like a slight thing, but like, who cares? Like, that's, again, probably just because I just straight up haven't used it. It's still kind of stiff. But, yeah, no, it's like not the same kind of pain. It's like just, again, like a little bit of stiffness and weakness from not using it. But aside from that, yeah, it's fine now. My arm, I can use it. I still have like this weird thing where you probably hear it now when I grip, my knuckles just crack. But yeah, that's always been there. Well, for like a long, long time. But yeah, it's just nice to have my right arm like functional again. It's been like over 2 years. It took forever, but yeah, it's So hopefully that is fully dealt with. I hope it doesn't like come back or something, but I don't think it can. Probably, unless like actually injured or something. Because yeah. By the way, I just want to say right now, it wasn't like anything like serious. Like it wasn't, because I think I just made it sound like it might have been, but no, it wasn't like any serious issue. It was like it was something really stupid. I'm like, oh, probably technically could have had that dealt with like immediately if I went and like had it looked at, and they'd be like, oh, here's your problem. We'll just like get rid of it. Like we'll just like fix that like in like 5 minutes or whatever, and probably be fine. But I didn't think it's a hard way. And that is that's how I always do things. Like I don't need to go to the doctor, right? That was not good logic when my lip was swelling up because I was having a bad allergic to, reaction one time. That was a time. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm probably fine. I was not fine, but yeah, it's probably a habit I shouldn't be in, but it is what it is. It's fine now. Anyway, Splatoon, 1,000%, 1,000% side order. Finally, that was horrible. So I do like side order quite a bit. However, I think okay, I like it more than 1 and 2, but I don't think it's better than 3 or Octo. I think Octo is still the best. Three, it's close enough to Octo, and Side Order is definitely a decent bit behind that, and then a decent bit behind Side Order you have 1, and then slightly below 1 is 2. I just think 2 is a bit too much of a rehash, but whatever. But yeah, in terms of 1,000%ing it, it was not fun. I did 100% it, which 100% all you have to do is get every palette. That's it. Or not get every palette, do complete every palette, which I did. So in order to complete the palette, you have to go through the tower 12 times. We'll finish it 12 times. Not too bad because again, you get different, like chips and stuff, and you get hacks as you progress. So it can be fun. There's 1,100 palettes for each weapon, but the 12th one is 8th palette, which you have to go through with like either low chips or low hacks. If you keep your hacks on, you don't get as many chips, but if you lower the amount of hacks to like a very low amount, you could start getting more chips again. But just completing those 12 pallets is 100%. Now, to 1,000%, you have to get all the extra stuff. See, you gotta get the low hacks badge, which is where you have to do like 4 hacks or less on the 8 badge, which means you do get more chips, but again, you have like none of your upgrades, which sucks. That was the 1,000% thing I actually did when I was playing through it. Also, you have to like play every level, which I don't think there's a way to tell if you played every level, but if you play it quite a few times and you don't see any more question mark levels popping up, you probably played every level. So there's that. But also, like the gelatin field's got a bit. Again, if you play enough time, if you're going for 1,000%, you're gonna fill that out. It's not too big, unless you just like don't fight enemies or whatever. But yeah. And then you have to get tons of pearls, which is kind of annoying. So you have to get a ton to get every single upgrade, which takes a long while. And then you have to get a ton more to finish Cypher sifting. So this doesn't actually take that long, honestly, but well, compared to the hacks, but still, you get everything there, all the locker items, the stickers, the banners, the head accessories, everything, and you're done with that. But there's still one final challenge you have to do, and it is by far the worst. It's the badge, not badge, the color chip badges. Oh god, color chip badges are the worst. So basically, there are 6 categories of color of chip badge or chips. Why can't I talk? Of chips, okay. And each category has 3 subcategories. They're inconsistently numbered, but still. In each subcategory, if you max out every chip in that category, you get a badge. So you get 3 badges for finishing a category, and there are 6 categories. How many chips are the total? Are 62. You have to max out 62 different chips. So keep in mind, you have 36 slots per palette, and then you have of the 62 chips, only a small handful you just get once and you're done. There's no extra upgrades. You just get it once. It's maxed. You're good to go. Almost every chip, you have to get 5 of it, and once you get 5, it's maxed out, and then you're good, which again, these are RNG, and you're on a limited palette. You have to get 5 of your 36 slots. It has to be this chip. even on a perfect run, you get 7 max chips. Like, that's assuming you actually manage to get 5 of the same 7 chips, which is hard to do. I don't think I ever did that once. And so if you do that, great, but it's still going to be a lot of runs for sure. But yeah, it takes a long time. It's probably easier if you're doing this while you're going for 100 and 1000%, but I didn't do that. So and I had to do this afterwards, which really sucked. And then you go through that. Yeah, you just gotta keep going through all of them. There are a few chips with 9, but you only have to get 5. I didn't notice at the time I did all 9 for each. I got all 9 upgrades for each one, but you only have to get the 5, which is, I guess, nice, but still. It's a lot. And once you get all 62 chips maxed, you get all 18 chip badges, and all the other stuff I already said, then you get 1000%. It takes forever, but I did it anyway. Why did I do it? Because I already 1000% at every other Splatoon game. I thought, what's the worst that could happen if I do that? Like, I knew if I did all 4 other single players last year, I'm like, okay, the Ciderwork's gonna come out like late last year or early this year. It came out early this year. So I mean, I'm sure it'll be easy to 1000% one game. It wasn't. I think the easiest one to do was probably Octo Expansion. Then probably 3 slightly above that, 'cause it's just a little bit more annoying, like having to get through the entirety of the overworld. But above that's 1, because you have to like max out all the gear, and that's not fun. But I thought 2 was always going to be the worst. You have to beat the game 9 times. Now Cider is worse, I think. You have to go through it 12 times. But it's meant to be replayable, and it is far shorter, but then you have to go through a bunch more times to get the pearls and chip badge stuff, so yeah, it's not great, especially when you're down to a couple chips. I remember I needed rush ink coverage, which you can only get via, I believe, Brellas, brushes, and rollers, and that chip just would not appear. And then it would appear, but only like 1 or 2 through a run, so then I just quit the run eventually, and then it ended up happening. I had a 1, it literally was first floor. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Did not appear again. I'm like, oh no. And then it appeared again on floor 27. I got 1 more. I'm like, okay, that's rough. And then floor 28 appears. It's a vending machine. I'm like, okay. So I go to the vending machine. I get there. I use a couple resets, and I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I only have like 1 or 2 more resets I can do on this vending machine before I just can't. I wouldn't be able to afford all the chips. I do another one. Rushing coverage appears. I buy out all 3 with like less than 100 membucks to spare. I do level 29. Final boss. I'm done. I have not played Decider ever since. I did play the Grand Fest though, actually. But yeah, Cider is done. But yeah, Grand Fest was pretty cool. It's definitely one of those things where you had to play it if you have Splatoon 3. And if you didn't, trust me, you had to be there. It was great. But I also have this thing over here. Let me switch my focus real quick. But it's this Grand Festival like wristband thing. Just have it over here with my wait, no. Close enough, I'll fix that later. But I just have it over here with like all my other stuff. I put on the splatter shot that I got with Splatoon 1 back in 2015. But yeah, that was something you used like points or whatever to get that from like Nintendo's online thing, and unfortunately it cost $7 in shipping, but I had an old Visa gift card that just been sitting there for like a couple of years that has like $8 or $9 left. Well, what am I gonna use that on? So I'm like, okay, sure, I'll just pay for the shipping with that. I guess that makes sense. So use that to get that, which is just a cool little item to have, but yeah. Anyways, I think that's all for today. Just want to talk about Splatoon because, yeah. I'll talk about anime within the next day or 2, and then after that, I will talk about the birthday stuff. But yeah. Oh, yeah, also, after I make this weekly blaze, I'm actually going to go make my zero-G video I've been talking about for months, so that'll be fun. But yeah, as far as today goes, that's that. Zero-G video up the 19th. Last week's weekly blaze will be out the 19th. Yeah, anyway, come back in the next day or 2 to talk about anime stuff. Alright, just now, Saturday, a little bit before 2 a.m. Technically my birthday. Before getting any of that, I have to talk about anime stuff, because I didn't do that yesterday. I was going to, but I just didn't. But, so anime stuff. I have a whole list here of things. try and run through these kind of quickly, but yeah. Anyway, just gonna start with My Hero Academia season 7. I don't think I've talked about My Hero Academia season 7 very much. I think I might have a little bit, but it's more My Hero Academia. It's mid. Not much else to say about it. Like, pacing is not all there. The story is not great. The first arc of the season was not very good. It was way too short. It was like that in the manga too, so I don't know what happened there. Like, this character just shows up, is apparently like super important, but we never really heard of it before. But yeah, they're really important, and then they kind of just aren't there after like 2 episodes. Like, okay, great, but yeah, yeah, it's not good. I'm sorry to say. Now moving on, we then have The Apothecary Diaries. This is actually one of the best shows I've watched this year. Probably second best behind Frieren, but Frieren's Frieren. Like, what else do I have to say about it? The Apothecary Diaries, though, it's really good. Like, it's just a super interesting show, very well thought out. Really good main character. I believe this is getting a season 2 next year. I'm 100% watching that for sure. Like, no doubt. I really like the show a lot. Oh man, I kind of hate talking about the show though because it was in like I started watching this at like the end of May. Really wish it was the end of May because I'd still be on summer break. That was kind of nice. Anyway, then we have Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. This is a really good slice of life series. Has to do with music and stuff. It does care about the music, which is nice. They're making a group. It's cool. You got the art and stuff. I like this. It feels very modern, which is interesting, which I do like as well. Some people don't like the ending, and yeah, I will say the ending wasn't perfect, but like I think people were like blowing it out of proportion. Like, I don't know what it is, but people like blow things out of proportion or just ignore issues entirely. Like, people can just be like, yeah, this was like not the best way to go about it, but it was still fine. you know, like in this case, but no, other people are like, no, it's perfect, and it just isn't, or they're like, this is awful. Like, why can't we have normal people? Anyway. I also rewatched a bunch of stuff since the last time, which I'm just not going to get into because I've already thought about those multiple times in the past because of the things that I rewatched a lot. Moving on, we have Demon Slayer Season 4. This wasn't good. It just wasn't. It was a training arc. It wasn't that enjoyable. Apparently there was like an episode that was based on like a few panels or something. And people are like, wow, look at how they transformed this like brief part of the story into like a whole episode. Like, have you never heard of filler before? This is filler. Like, yeah, did they transform it in like a way that makes sense for the story? Yeah, for sure. Can you argue it like adds a little bit? Maybe, but the problem is the story is so boring that it doesn't really matter because it's not doing a whole lot in that regard. This whole season was just a setup season. And what's funny is apparently they're ending the series in 3 movies. I hate anime movies so much. Just give me a TV series, please. Movies are fine in some ways, but when it's like multiple parts or it's like an arc or I don't know, I don't always like it. I didn't mind them as much back in the day, and I don't mind them like Kizumonogatari. That's a great movie trilogy, or like The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. I really like that as well, but I don't know what it is. Just something about certain series doing it like annoys me. Like, I think Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, that was like an okay time to do a movie. But like Demon Slayer, it's like, oh god, wait, the first season they a movie for like the next arc, and then it's like, okay, seasons 2, 3, 4, and then we're ending in 3 movies. I don't know, just something about that gets annoying. I don't know why, but I feel like the shonen movies all the time try to be too cinematic and like feel a little bit too western for me. I think maybe that's the issue. I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen fell into that, but like I know there were movies like the Attack on Titan specials, like the 2 of them. Might as well just been a movie, but it did that and I didn't like it, so really not looking forward to those, but I'll probably watch them at some point once all 3 of them are out. But yeah, season 4, not good, pretty uninteresting. After that, actually I skip a while because I watched Demon Slayer before I rewatched a ton of stuff, but after I was done with that, I watched Charlotte. Yeah, there's a pretty big time skip here. Why am I almost falling over? Okay. My ankle just decided to like give. Anyway, Charlotte was an interesting series. It started off kind of cool. Like, you have this main character who just kind of uses this power to like possess people. He can like, well, kind of possess people. He uses it for like 5 seconds and then like transports back, but he can like get information, which is a cool idea. And he's like, someone that just does not care. He just, uses his power for himself. And then he gets like transferred to the school with other people who have abilities and like loses all sense of personality immediately. I didn't like that. But after that, you get a decent story about people going around finding other people's powers. It wasn't bad. But then you get like this weird contrived plot of like a ton of other stuff that gets introduced, and his power. It's actually, I mean, spoiler, I guess, for a like 9-year-old show, but his power, it actually, when he possesses people, he can actually take their power too. And yeah, it just gets like really contrived. You get like time travel stuff. I don't know. This is a PA Works series, and I don't know what it is about PA Works. They always do this thing where like it starts off normal, and they try to get like really grand with their stories. Except they only ever make stories that are like 12 or 13 episodes, and it just doesn't have enough time to develop. And like, I think the whole shift in Charlotte could have actually worked fine if those last like 4 episodes would have had like 12 episodes to develop, and maybe you got a few extra episodes of like the normal stuff beforehand to fill out the rest of the first part. And the second part was just like those last few episodes. I think that could have worked, but in the time given, yeah, no, Charlotte doesn't really work. It was okay, cool idea, like some cool stuff going on, but in the end, I don't think it really worked out very well. Then I watched Yamada and the Seven Witches. I thought this was actually going to be a pretty bad series, but yeah, it was actually not bad. It was rated higher than I thought, so I decided to give it a shot because it looked like something I would have watched back in the day. But I mean, there's these seven witches. They all have different powers. People want to like get control of all of them. They use the powers in like pretty interesting ways. For the series it is, I actually thought it was pretty decent. After that, what was not decent was I actually forgot to list it, but I remember it. Redo of a Healer. This show a few years ago was like everywhere for like reasons, and it's one of the shows I'm like I'm gonna watch this eventually just for the sake of saying I watched it. And yeah, it was interesting. It was entertaining because of how bad it was. The plot itself, it's not good, but like it's interesting enough because like this guy just wants to get revenge on like everyone, and it's like it is a dumpster fire, and the plot itself isn't really good, but it's entertaining anyway. So, is it a good show? Definitely not. Was it entertained? Um, I didn't like a lot of the parts of the series, but I think at the same time, kind of, because it's like this is so ridiculous. It's one of those series. Moving on from that, I watched. Was this the last series that I watched before? Yeah. Konohana Kitan. Konohana Kitan was a series that came out a few years ago. I don't really hear anyone talk about it. I didn't hear anyone talking about it back then, but it's kind of a slice of life series, very chill, kind of slower in series, but it has to do with just kind of these fox girls running this like hot hot spring onsen. I just forgot the name. I think it was an onsen, kind of like a bathhouse or whatever, like resort thing. Like traditional Japanese. I just forgot the word. It might be onsen, but my brain is just malfunctioning apparently. Anyway, they run this thing, and it's called Konohanate. I know the name of the thing. I just don't remember what it's considered for some reason, or it's just an inn, but whatever. And yeah, it's pretty good. It has a lot of Japanese folklore. I think if you like Japanese folklore stuff, it's a really enjoyable series, and it's a good enough size of life series. I think it works. Reminds me of something from like the late 2000s or early 2010s a little bit as well, with a lot of like cool Japanese folklore references. So if you like that kind of stuff, it's pretty good. If you don't like Japanese folklore, it's still decent. But if you also don't like slow burn stuff, you probably won't like the series very much. But yeah, I do like Japanese folklore, and also I don't mind slow burn series. So I like this one quite a bit. And now we the series I'm watching right now. Next month I'll probably have to give my updated thoughts, but I'm watching through Data Live right now. I watched Data Live seasons 1 and 2 in the movie, which I don't think is canon, but I watched anyway. I watched those back in August of 2016, and I rewatched them in August of 2018. I remember the stuff pretty well, actually. I thought the series was, like, okay, but not great. I don't know, the characters, they're alright. They're not bad, but, I think the main, good character is Kurumi. I mean, anyway, um, yeah, that's probably my favorite character in the series. She's the most interesting, I think. I've watched season three. Season three felt like more of the same. Well, kind of. The first half was kind of more of the same. It was interesting enough, I guess, but the latter half actually gets really interesting, especially with like Origami's backstory and just finding out what the cause of everything was. It's like, oh, that's rough. Problem was the pacing was abysmal there, unfortunately. So what should have been really interesting was kind of just okay, because I felt like it was way too fast, and like I like the stuff being presented. It was just too fast. So season three was alright. Season four has actually been pretty decent so far. 10 episodes in, so I'll finish it. Well, technically today, I guess. It's pretty good. It's nothing crazy, but I like the spirit we have recently. Mokuro, she's pretty cool. Went to space, that was nice. The one thing I will say is like there's a whole thing about like they like change the timeline, so like the timeline's actually different now, which is so weird because it doesn't feel like it is, but it is, and that was another like weird season three plot point that was like really quick, so I don't know how to feel about that. But season four so far, I mean, yeah, the character was, she had a good arc, I would say, and then looks like we're doing more with Kurumi now, which is really cool. Yeah, season four has been pretty solid so far, I would say. Nothing spectacular, but I would say like probably the best season so far. I heard season five is actually pretty solid. Like I know for a while, I think it dropped off, but while it was airing, because it aired this year, I think like early, I had like an 8, which is like on my anime list, which is crazy. I know shows tend to get overhyped, which is why it goes down eventually. But just the fact that something like Data Live was above an 8 was like, well, that's kind of insane. Like season five must actually be pretty decent. I'm curious about that one. So I won't cover that in this video. That won't be until next Weekly Blaze, which I'll probably do in October. I don't know if it'll be a news week because I realized like if I'm not doing, if these aren't public videos or just unlisted, I can probably just make as many as I want. So if I feel like talking about stuff in a random week, I'm going to talk about it. No, nothing can really stop me anymore. But it might be the October news week. We'll see though. Again, it just depends. So it depends on my mood. But yeah, for now, that's all the anime stuff I have to say. So I'll have to talk about the Data Life stuff next time. But for now, my birthday. Yeah, so I am 24 now, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean birthdays. I remember back in the day, birthdays were always like really hype. It's like, oh yeah, you could do this new thing now. Like, or not even new things. It's just like when you're like 5, you turn 6. It's like a big deal. And then like you turn 10, it's like, oh man, double digits. 11, 12. Or, I mean, you're still a kid, so it's fun. But then like 13, you're a teenager. That's crazy. And then 14. 14's kind of lame, but you're still young enough to where like a birthday is still exciting, I would say. 15, you can get your permit, which is kind of crazy. So 15, I think, is an interesting one. Although for me personally, I actually didn't want to turn 15. I think 14 was the last year I was like excited for. 15, it's just like I don't want to drive, so I don't really want to turn 15 to get my permit and stuff. Then 16, that's where you could like work part time and drive fully, which I also wasn't excited about driving, so I didn't really want to turn 16. 17, okay, 17 was fine. But I mean, I know a lot of people it's exciting because it's like, oh, you could like buy R-rated, not buy, watch R-rated movies, buy M-rated games. Last year of technically being a kid as well. For me personally, I was like, man, it's already the last year. That kind of sucks. And then 18. Now you're an adult. You can do a lot of things, and I remember I was not happy about that. That was already 6 years ago, man. Anyway, 19's pretty lame. Like nothing happens. I was pretty indifferent to it, honestly. I guess it was a little bit unfortunate. 'Cause I'm like, oh, it's the last teenage year technically. 20, 20 is interesting because it's like, oh, it's a new decade. 20. Probably depends on the person. I was not excited about it because it's like, oh, 20, no more teens. And then 21, I know a lot of people go crazy for this one because alcohol and stuff. Me personally, I've never had alcohol in my life, so I don't actually, I didn't drink at all, so I'm like, okay, it just kind of sucks, I guess, a little bit. But After 21, I think, like, there's something like, I think hotels or something, or renting cars, I think, are really easier. I think that's 25, though, but I don't care. I think anything past 21, though, like 22, 23, 24, I think it's just another birthday, and it's a little bit unfortunate. I think that's the general consensus post 21, and that's how I feel about it. It's just like, great. And it gets, of course, worse when you get to like 30 or something, but I'm not that far. Well, wait a minute. That's 6 years from now. I turned 18 6 years ago. It did not feel like a long time ago. That's kind of concerning, I'm not gonna lie. Great, so I'm turning 24 today, but I'm basically like 47. See, that's how it goes, right? Anyway, just with how fast time's been going, might as well. Anyway, yeah, 24. That's a weird thing. It's like the last year in the first half of my 20s. So that does not sound good. Yeah. So as far as videos go, so my scheduling has been a bit disrupted. So basically, the September Beyblade orders are seemingly delayed, like across the board. Like no one's gotten them in. I feel there's been like barely any English video. Oh, okay, there've been some, but like a lot of videos have not been out by a lot of people yet, and also like a lot of sites just haven't shipped them out yet. So for some reason, the September orders seem to be delayed. I don't know if there's like shipment problems or whatever, but still, kind of sucks. Um, but yeah, um, is what it is, I guess. So I won't be getting my Lightning Eldragos tomorrow. So that throws on my plans, because I'm going to do my birthday video the 21st, just later in the day than usual. But 22nd was supposed to be the Lightning Eldragos. Well, can't do that now. So basically, my new plan is I do have 10 videos that are ready to go. Except I will just push them back by X amount of days. So the 22nd, I'll put up the Gold Knight Shield video. Wait, no, that's not that. Never mind, never mind. That's not first. That one can wait. 22nd will be the Black Dronzer. 23rd will be the Giant Strong Dagger. 24th will be the Gold Knight Shield. That one, it's a cool like rare bait that I want to upload a video on, but again, it's not like relevant right now. Like Black Dronzer is probably the newest one, and then Giant's Drawn Dagger. But I mean, the Night Shield I want to do a video on, so I'll do that pretty soon. And then the 25th, I'll do the Cobalt Drake version of Drawn's Sword, that blade. Why not? And then 26th, then I'll start doing the anime stuff. So 26th will be the My Hero Academia Season 6 Limited Edition. Then 27th will be the JoJo Set 8 Limited Edition. Then the 28th will be the Nintendo World Championships Special Edition. Then the 29th will be the Squid Sisters Alterna amiibo. And then the 30th will be the Off the Hook Side Order amiibo. And once I get Lightning Eldrago and Whale Wave, those will push everything back. My assumption is the amiibo videos will be October, and the other videos will probably also be pushed back by a day or two. Assuming everything goes correctly. But they have not been, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, assuming everything goes fine, and I get them like next week, which I should, but again, with how slow everything's been, who knows, but assuming that happens, let's just say I get them, I don't know, we'll say like the 26th, okay, I get them the 26th. Then the videos for the 27th and 28th are pushed back, and everything else behind those are pushed back. Now, if I get them on different days, I will just put up whatever bay I get. You know, if I get Lightning Eldrago first, I'll put up the Lightning Eldrago video, and then the Whale Wave whenever I get that. But if I get them both the same day, I'm prioritizing Whale Wave because I think it's a new base. It's more important to me, so I'm putting that one up first, and Lightning Eldrago will be the day after. But if they're separate days, then it is what it is. I just put them in whatever pattern that makes sense. You know, just put that up as soon as possible. Whatever day I get them, it goes up 5 a.m. the next day. I get both on the day. Whale Wave goes up 5 a.m. the next day. Eldrago the day after, and then yeah. Any other videos behind those will also be pushed back again. If I only get one, then they'll be pushed back a day. If I get both, they'll be pushed back 2 days. So that's how I'm going to schedule the stuff there. So that's my plans for that stuff. It is a little bit unfortunate that these September releases have been so delayed with orders. Again, I don't know what happened, but anyway, pretty interesting, I guess. So hopefully I get them soon. Really hoping I get them soon, but who knows at this point. I was hoping to actually get them. I almost wanted to get Whale Wave by the 21st if possible, and then like well, buy us both versions of Eldrago for my birthday. But yeah, they're gonna be pretty delayed. I think Eldrago might not even get. I don't even know if they're gonna get here by the end of September. Honestly, with how slow it's been. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, not really fun. Anyway, really hoping to get here by the end of September. Otherwise, yeah, they'll be October videos, but I'll get them out as soon as I can. But again, who knows when that'll be. But as far as everything goes, I think that is all I have to say for today. Or not for today, but for right now. I will come back later in the day, like 6, 7 or whatever p.m. To just show the birthday stuff real quick, and then do the video, and then upload that, and then do all the other videos later on after that. So should be a time for sure. But yeah, a lot of recording tomorrow, which will be interesting. So yeah, although I will be thrown off, but anyway, it's a Saturday, so it just feels weird. But yeah, I think that's all the birthday stuff I want to talk about. I don't have a lot to say with birthday stuff. I already talked about the anime stuff. So yeah, I think tomorrow I will do that, and then like later on, like probably technically Sunday morning or whatever, I will end off this weekly plays, and that'll be that. And yeah. It'll be a challenge to get that Dronzer video though, because I do have to put stickers on, which really sucks actually. So I should probably get that one out, and then after that I'll probably hurry up and get this weekly plays out the 22nd, as well as that video for 5 a.m. And then after that I'll probably go and finish everything else at 4 or 5 in the morning. But yeah. Anyway, that is all for now though. I'll come back to show the stuff and then end this weekly plays off and whatever. Yeah, that's all for now. So I'll be back with whatever I got, which will hopefully be kind of exciting. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, here's all the stuff. We'll show more later. Alright, it's now Sunday at 1:30 a.m. Just now getting to the point where I can actually unbox stuff. That took way longer than I was hoping it would, but it is what it is. Sorry I didn't record much at all earlier. It was like an 8-second clip, but that's all I had time for. But got my amiibo. Of course, let me fix the focus on this and I'll actually show stuff, but Alterna, still out of focus. There we go. Alterna, Squid Sisters, pretty cool. Always like getting amiibo, so these are nice. Also, side order off the hook, amiibo, yeah. I like getting a new amiibo. These are pretty cool. Nothing too crazy, but they are cool. Also have the anime stuff. Of course, JoJo. I always get JoJo sets every year, but yeah, here's a set 8, part 6, part 1. Yeah. And of course, My Hero Academia season 6. I always get these. Not always for my birthdays or whatever, but still, I always get these when they come out. I was late on the first 3 box sets because you had season 1, season 2 part 1, and then season 2 part 2. But I got season 3 fairly quickly, and after that, yeah, seasons 4, 5, 6 now set. Before 5 and 6 I got all pretty quickly. But yeah. Let's see. Of course, also Nintendo World Championships. The hell was that? Is that a bug? I swear I heard something. I don't know. I thought I heard a bug. It could have been plastic or something. You don't. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Yeah, Deluxe Edition. Yeah, this is really cool. I was actually really looking forward to this. So, might be the favorite thing I got. Just because, yeah, I really wanted to check this out. I don't know what that noise was. Sounded like some really slight buzz, but I don't. It could have been plastic or shrink wrap or something. maybe shrink wrap. I don't know, maybe like a little bit of shrink wrap fell off of something. I think I saw like a little bit earlier, but I don't know. It was a noise though. I don't know what noise it was. Anyway, I guess, yeah, I'll figure it out whenever, but I also got some Beyblade stuff. This is like a mess. Let me try and fix this up a little bit. So you got the drawn dagger here, but the box is like disassembled and doesn't want to reassemble, so I have it all just kind of out. But, yeah. Anyway, so that's there. Oh yeah, also the stickers and whatever else. I should put that here. I'm going to do this part of the video. I'm going to do like the first part of this video now. I'm also going to do the first part of this video, the Black Dronzer. And yeah, so I'm doing these two, like the first parts before I do the stickers. Like, now basically. Oh, that is a bug. What the hell is that? It's like a weird fly thing, I think. Or is that a fly or is that a bee? No, it's a fly, okay. I thought it was a fly. I'm like, it better not be like a bee or something. That'd be a huge issue. But yeah, because I want to do this now because, well, basically, a couple of stickers on, then I can go upload this weekly blaze. This weekly blaze is going to take probably an hour or so. Gotta get that out, and then that'll be out, and we're good, and then, yeah. Also, got the gold Knight Shield. I think I put the bit over there already, but, yeah. Do that when I come back up, and then of course the giant blue drawn sword thing. So yeah, I think that's about for this weekly blaze though. I'm gonna go deal with this fly now and start unboxing stuff and whatnot. So anyways, that's all for this weekly blaze. So yeah, thanks for watching and bye bye.